2 cents and now I got 2 rents. They was sleeping on me, homie, must've got 2 bit. Call my phone, I be like, who this? Damn right, hell yeah, I'm brand new. Smell like can too. I'm fresh forever like canned food. Try and tell me what I can't do. I wanna see the world, my vision on Shamu. That mean I got goals that's real big, foes that's real big. Y'all offer too little, sorry, my soul is real big. Coming into the ring with blows that's real big. I gotta do it big, that's the only way I can live.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch your head.
What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing!
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finished his bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
Hey man, I just can't find a comfortable headset. I mean, I've tried everything. Literally everything.
Sheesh, my brother. I got you.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
That is comfortable.
Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a soar, I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finished his bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live. And I promise I'm trying to. Before you count me out, homie, let me remind you. They was blocking the shine, now I think it's my time to. Counting them dollar signs like lights, they'll blind you. Let me rewind to back when I was broke and I couldn't acquire 2 cents. And now I got 2 rents. They was sleeping on me, homie, must've got 2 bit. Call my phone, I be like, who this? Damn right, hell yeah, I'm brand new. Smell like can too. I'm fresh forever like canned food. Try and tell me what I can't do. I wanna see the world, my vision on Shamu. That mean I got goals that's real big, foes that's real big. Y'all offer too little, sorry, my soul is real big. Coming into the ring with blows that's real big. I gotta do it big, that's the only way I can live.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch your head.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the ECAC Esports Valorant Grand Finals. We entered these playoffs with 54 teams, and we are down to the final 2 tonight. West Virginia University at Potomac State College and the University of Albany Valorant A team are going to square off right here, right now, in a Valorant best-of-3 series to decide who walks away our one and only victor. I am Septilance, joined by the handsome and talented Jag, and we are honored, stoked, and unbelievably excited to kick off tonight.
Yeah, what a mouthful, Septilance, but you nailed every point. I mean, this is going to be an amazing grand finals. Two teams with very long names. Probably going to shorten them just a little bit. One thing to point out is there is a third place match going on, not going to be on the stream. That is SUNY Poly versus Stockton. Unfortunately, couldn't make it to the grand final. Still competing for a part of that prize pool, but we're down to the two best teams, and not very surprising, these are also the two number 1 seeded teams in the playoffs. Number 1 is Potomac State. Number 2 is UAlbany. And they've actually already faced off against each other in the regular season. That was WVU coming up on top with a 2-1 victory, but that was UAlbany being the only team to take a map off of them during the regular season. Now, PSC has lost a map in the playoffs. It was actually in their last matchup, and that was the SUNY Poly, who are now in the third place matchup. So, a very good team. But, it's only 2 maps. They're at the entirety of the season. Yeah. That's all that PSC has lost coming into this.
A terrifying consideration. Literally 2 maps out of however many they may have played. It is a terrifying thing to consider. And honestly, I'm a little bit sad SUNY Poly gets stuck in that third place slot because we really got to watch them a couple of times. We really got to see them grow and improve. They started strong and continued to get stronger and stronger. So it's a shame to see them fall. But if they get podium, I mean, hey, it's still a win at the end of the day. And this is going to be a matchup that I believe realistically is going to take us all the way to that third and final map. I believe we have a map pool. If we're able to pull that up real quickly, we can kind of get a glimpse at what these teams have chosen to bring onto the table tonight.
Yeah, and it's going to be Haven first, and this is actually a map that both teams said they felt pretty good on. This is the map specifically that Potomac State said they felt best on. So this is interesting. They did pick that one out. UAlbany also said they felt good. They also feel good on a few other maps. Ascent as well as Split are going to be in the map pool later. Ascent is one that UAlbany feels confident on. And one question I have coming into this is, now that we've seen, champions, now there's been more pro play after kind of a drought of it, will teams be playing more KO? That is the biggest question for me. We've seen a lot of KO in champions, and I've always said KO looks good on Ascent. So I feel like in this pool, he might be a pretty good option there.
I don't disagree. And you almost asked the same question as me, but just a little bit different. I was going to ask the same thing about Breach, because while I was watching today, and I haven't unfortunately had a lot of time to watch, being this a finals week for me and whatnot at school, but every time I tuned in, somebody was playing Breach one way or another. And that's arguably a terrifying consideration, because I personally hate playing against Breach. I think he's really annoying, and I don't know how to counter him appropriately. I don't know how to play against him, but these players are obviously all better than I am. So Jag, looking at this, jumping into Haven, our guaranteed first map, is there going to be a Breach? Is there going to be a KO? And if not, what team comp should we be expecting?
I don't think there's going to be a KO. I do think there's a possibility of a Breach. However, it's not a big one. Breach works really well on Haven because there's a lot of just straightaway sightlines. So a lot of his stun abilities just go, one direction. They don't really go anywhere else. So if you have a good way to get down like C or A long, you just throw a stun in there, and that can work out really well. His whole point is he's just an initiator. He wants to stun people up. You get that CC in, and then the rest of the team is able to charge on. So if it works out on attack, it can work really well. On defense, it does the same thing. It stops attackers from running in. But, I don't know. I feel like Sky is still the better option overall, just because their kid is a little bit more dynamic. And already I do see a Sky on the board, and I was wrong. Sawston is actually going to be going for that KO. This is a little bit surprising compared to some other maps. I feel like Breeze is kind of the pick for KO, that or Ascent. Maps that have a lot more open area, a lot less roofs to worry about, really, because of the 0-point knife. If it hits a roof, like, it's just staying there.
It's useless.
My guess is that Sawston probably has some really good spots lined up for this.
Yeah, and I want to keep an eye out as well. Maybe you can explain this to me. Maybe this is a small brain caster comment, but I've never understood the choice of Killjoy here, because she works out occasionally, but in particular, I feel her ultimate struggles to get value on a map that has so many escape routes.
I don't disagree with you. I feel like it's more about just locking down a site than actually locking anyone up. I feel like it's kind of what her ultimate has always been. It's always about building space. You don't really assume that anyone's actually going to be caught out and is going to be vulnerable because of it. It's more just like, hey, we're going to use this ultimate to either stop you from getting onto a point, or we're going to use it to get onto the point ourselves. So kind of what Breach is for. Otherwise, Killjoy's kit is just really good at area denial more so than Cypher, because even though there is a limit of how far she can get away from her abilities, that turret can catch someone out really quickly.
Yeah, 100%. I think you made some great points there as well. And we're going to be keeping an eye on Finn, who feels to be, I want to say a bit of a wild card, but I just can't pull my eyes off that KO. I feel like I haven't seen one in ages. And like you said, Sauceton pulling out something interesting here that maybe Albany isn't going to be completely ready for, because KO has been a little quiet and competitive recently. But like you said, as we've got the best of the best playing around the world, we've been seeing him more and more. So let's see what Potomac is going to be able to do with him here.
What's interesting about this is that Albany said they actually were the ones coming up with a trick up their sleeve, but it looks like they're not going to be coming out with it just yet. Maybe the raise is what they're thinking about, because other than that, I think this is a pretty standard comp. One thing that we were told about a long time ago is that Teague as well as Sauceton are the players to look out for.
Yes.
Sauceton usually a duelist player, so kind of flexing over a little bit to that initiator role, see what they can do. And Albany, they just said, we all play equally. Like, there's no one to look out for because we're all getting those eliminations. So we'll have to see if teamwork makes the dream work, or if the two standouts on the side of Potomac carry their team.
Now I want to keep an eye out. Like you said, I didn't even get to talk about that. Ray's my favorite character in the game because I was so focused on that KO. Ruse already going to find themselves on the wrong side of a suppression blade, but not going to, lose their life for it. Sauceton also rocking that Mage Punk Ghost, one of my favorite skin sets in the game. Not able to find anything, goes for a spray and pray, and Dina is going to get a little bit of value around the corner, but not finding purchase on anybody, just a little bit of damage to that turret. Albany, they're playing a little bit slower, and this is given complete advantage here as Potomac's going to be able to find a spike plant early on.
Yeah, no Sentinel, so no real way to hold this point with abilities. A Cypher can shut this point down, but now they're going to go for the gunfights. No one falls yet.
Nobody down, but there it is. Sauceton with that first blood, going to have his blood shed in the very same spot. Sal picks up Finn. Then Teague is going to be able to find that counter kill onto Jet. Albany, they had a lead for just a moment, but Swaby is the one to turn it around. 2v2, Astra alive on both sides. Astra alive on one side. White Chocolate with the frenzy finds that elimination, and it is up to Jay Chronic, the one who plants the spike. Can he make sure it stays down? Gives himself away with that spray and pray, but pros don't fake, and White Chocolate has to get up, but just can't get away. Jay Chronic is going to be able to find that double kill and guarantee that first round win for Potomac.
This is someone we didn't even get to talk about because there's so many things to highlight in that intro. Jay Chronic is one of the best Sova players I've ever seen. And I mean, here's an example of that, able to clutch out a 1v2. It was a pretty unfortunate situation for the side of Albany just because they were so weak already.
Right.
So even though there was that advantage, they had to commit to the spike. Time was running out, and there Jay Chronic just able to get an amazing straight transfer, get the win, and now they're going to be able to buy a little bit here.
And being able to buy is going to be huge. I mean, obviously, the second round is considered to be a guarantee win or a statistical win for the team that wins the first one. But, we've seen teams lose this one before. Teague, oh my goodness, rocking my favorite gun in the game. The Judge making a very early appearance to guarantee a double kill in favor of Potomac. Finn picks up the Astra, and all of a sudden, we're looking at a 5v2, making a 4v2 as Sal picks up Finn in the back line. But with a Ghost, you've got a long way to go, my friend.
This is interesting, though. They didn't plant, and it looks like they were trying to clear out the map instead of going for the plant. Now they are, but they do lose a Spectre along the way. It's still very favorable for the attackers now that they do get the spike plant, but that Spectre going the way of Sal could really change the tide here.
The tide shifting would be exactly what this team needs to succeed, but nobody's going to, jump out and walk into a firefight. Instead, as I say it, Sal does just that. Sauceton goes down in the blink of an eye, and this is suddenly a little bit more winnable for Albany. They still got to get through, two more. Teague, though, okay, never mind. A little less winnable when you walk face first into a Judge. Teague rocking and rolling here in round two, giving Potomac that second round win. Now, this is the one to keep an eye on, because if Albany's going to turn something around, it's right here, right now.
Yeah, bonus round going to be coming in, so weapons going to be better for Albany just because they had to save last time around. They still got 2 eliminations. Not too bad when all is said and done, because now it's going to force Potomac to spend a little bit themselves. Jay Chronic going to be going with a Vandal, so that lets me know that they want to try to win this round, even though they know they're going to be at a slight disadvantage weapons-wise. They really want to try to get rid of that bonus. They really want to be able to go up 3-0, and Teague on the Judge. That's still very dangerous, especially when you have the ability to get in and out of a site very quickly.
Oh, 100%, but doesn't matter when Ruse just double headshot kill onto Teague and Sauceton. Finn picks up Sal, and that equalizes things a lot. A 5v3 is obviously much harder to win than a 4v3, and if Albany can pick up one more kill, if they can make sure they have double the amount of players that Potomac can play with right now, it's going to be a great success, but it's Ruse that goes down. Like you said, Jay Chronic, and I wholeheartedly agree, one of the greatest Sovas I think I have ever seen, and we haven't even seen him utilize the kit yet. It's just been head tap after head tap, 3v3. Albany with such a phenomenal lead, and they lose it in less than half a minute. Going to be a tie-up once again. Dinaz and Finn go down. 2-2 matchup. Not a similar agent on either side.
Oh, this flanked up from Jay Chronic. Has Hunter's Fury, has 2 shock darts available.
Ruh-roh.
Now it's down to them. They're probably going to be looking... No, it really doesn't make sense to use Hunter's Fury here because then you'll be completely vulnerable. So instead, you're going to try to rotate.
No way.
The spike's going down. That's one.
Has to give up on it, and it's Jay Chronic again with the 4K to keep Potomac's lead alive. That is going to be 3 rounds in a row. A statistical anomaly there for Albany to lose that round. It's usually one they're expected to win, and Potomac, I've got to say it, Jay Chronic in particular is walking away very strong. Already double the amount of elims as anybody else in the lobby.
6-0-2 as well, yet to fall. The only one in the lobby, yet to die. And I thought there, maybe the shock dart setup is the way to go, but I feel like they realized, time's running out, this spike's being confused. Instead, I'm going to take the angle on logs, get the headshot set up perfectly, and unfortunately there for White Chocolate, they just got up at the exact wrong time. Timing is everything. And even with a light buy, that isn't a be an opening kill for Albany.
Yeah, Albany finding that opening kill, and they actually haven't been able to succeed with these so far. We saw, 2 rounds already where Albany was able to get that first blood, and they lost both of them. Potomac, they've really been able to turn these rough situations around. A lot of great value at the ready, and I truly hope this Jet keeps rocking and rolling with this Judge, because I get such a kick out of it every single time I see it. And it's just my personal favorite weapon in the game. White Chocolate going for a bit of a floor bang, but not finding any purchase with those bullets yet. Now a great block from Swaby is going to open up that site and cover heaven. Uh-oh!
Hunter's Fury gets one. They miss.
Oh! I don't even have words right now to say things. Oh, man, Rouge picks up a kill, but Potomac there walking on Albany right now. That Hunter's Fury was, I don't even think intentionally was looking for kills, but wanted to make that space, and finding a kill is the best way to make space. Potomac going up 4-0 already.
I think there, you are down one person, you lose them very early on, but you still know you have the weapons advantage, so you just take sight. Albany has to back up. They try to play for the retake, but the way they played it, they were so split. They're trying to use the guiding light from one side. They have one person in heaven. When the Hunter's Fury comes in, they play too slow, and all it really does is build up the Seeker. So at least they have one ultimate on the board, 1 force up for Potomac, but 2 more take their place, and we know how that no command works, and there it is. Now, if that KO falls, they have a chance to be res back.
Yeah, if that KO goes down, depending on where they've gone down, they might be able to get rezzed up. We've seen time and time again, KOs get a little overconfident with that ability on the table, and they'll go down early on. But Jay Chronic finding another plant. I mean, I'm hesitant to say for free, but by golly, does it feel like it? Team goes down early. That top frag for Potomac is gone. Is this Albany's time to finally get on the board?
Spike is planted. They do have a Cosmic Divide. They could try to use that here just to cut off any sort of sightline, but instead they're holding on to it.
Oh boy!
And now they've lost Swaby. That's a huge showstopper.
I'm not sure if I love the use of the showstopper there, but getting even 1 kill truly makes that ultimate worth it. Cloner picks up Finn, 5v2, 5v1 as this guy wants to put that first win on the board for Albany. Jay Chronic picks up 2 more, but Jay Chronic trying to find a third. Do we see an ace already? I will lose my darn tooth mind if Jay Chronic picks up an ace to secure a 5-round win, but no, it's Clone who's going to be able to put that Sova down. However, it is far too late for the defuse. That is another round win for Potomac.
If Jay Chronic is alive, the round is not over. That's just kind of how it works. Still a big advantage there. We're able to clean up quite a few members for UAlbany, and they still could not get it done. This is going to be a tactical pause. I think this is a great idea right now. Yeah. And I think the reason you throw the showstopper in is you said you weren't a fan of it. It only does get 1, but you got to do anything at this point to stop the bleeding. And that bleeding is going to continue because you still lose the round. You do get 4 members, but Potomac State's economy is good enough where, for the most part, it looks like everyone can rebuy. Sawston might have to have someone buy for them, but Teak has 8,000 credits, so that should be no problem. And UAlbany, now they're going to have to go for a bit of a Frankenstein buy. You see the economy, not a lot. It looks like D-Nuns and White Chocolate can't buy. Ruse can, but they might have to go for a full save, even though Sal does have the operator out right now. So it's just really not going UAlbany's way at all.
Yes, Sal busting on an op, giving every single credit that he can, taking out loans, asking friends for money to buy this op here in round 6 with that full armor as well. Maybe Sal gets an opportunity to pop off, right? I think Potomac, I don't want to say they're being carried by Jay Chronic, but when Jay Chronic goes down, I think that's going to be Albany's first round win.
Yeah, and they did They have died once now. That was their first death right there is what we saw. But again, they lived long enough to get it done.
They took out 4 on the way.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? And because of that, they are able to still stay alive. And their ultimate bank is still a bit better here. So a lot of good things for WVU. I think, can that Raze get into the swing of things? White Chocolate's still struggling a little bit, and you really need your duels to pop off. This is honestly a great look, though. I do think the Raze is better with the Judge actually than a Jet because of those blast packs being able to get up and over people.
Yeah, 100%. That's why I love the Judge so much. I'm a Raze player, but I also was going to bring that up in a moment here. I'm a Raze player, and I know this is not a Raze stage. This is not a map where she often makes an appearance, and we're starting to learn why she hasn't really been able to utilize that kit other than that single showstopper. And already Sauceton finds 2, turns into 3 with the help of Jay Chronic on the backup there. 4v2 in favor of Potomac once again. They are all over this game right now. They are looking to make this half as one-sided as they possibly can.
And you and I think, always are in agreement about this. The better duelist option right here is the Reyna. If you're going to go with the Jet, the Phoenix can work. It's not the best choice, but the Phoenix is a better option, I would say, than Raze in this scenario, at least. It's really hard for you to find. I mean, there is high ground here, but Raze really needs a lot. That's why she's so good on split. There's so much high ground there. Here, not nearly as much, and here you're seeing why it's not usually the go-to pick. It's a 4v2. In Albany, they're going to have to try to find something here with this operator.
Yeah, Raze, you know, she's good on 2 maps in this game, in my opinion, and that's going to be Split and Bind. You can make her work in a couple of other places, but there's usually agents that just happen to work better. Now, Teague going to fall early to Ruse. Swaby goes for a pull in there. That gravity well finds nothing. The spike getting to those ladder tick sounds already. 3v2. The op from Sal puts one down. You got to put down one more, but Jay Chronic finds Ruse. Sal going for the save. Walks right into a KJ cornered between the 2 of them, and Jay Chronic picks up that 3rd kill. That's going to be Potomac going up 6-0.
And that is huge for Potomac because, once again, they are able to win the round. This time they're able to take everyone out, and they get rid of the operator. So that commitment to a half buy, it does not work out for UAlbany as well. The fact that they even challenged that at 4v2 is very courageous, in my opinion. Maybe that operator is able to pop off. Maybe you're able to even things up a little bit, but you really only got 1 kill out of that, and now your economy is back to square 0. You should be able to buy an next round, but the halftime lead is already guaranteed for Potomac this early on. 6 rounds in, 6 rounds won, and they're looking to just rack up this lead even more.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Albany just goes absolutely insane, you know? Like turns their monitors on and wins 6 rounds in a row, but realistically, it feels mighty unlikely, and already Sal going to be falling early. Ruse taking a bit of damage from the Hunter's Fury. Finn and Sauceton literally just rolling over anybody on the C site there from Albany. 5v2 already. Potomac, they're looking to walk away. Like you said, this round guarantees them that halftime advantage. White Chocolate finds 1. You've got to find 4 more, my friend, and that Raze is already critical condition. Loner down to 59. That's going to be a double kill from Teague to put it away. 7-0 in favor of Potomac.
It's a great strategy there by Potomac. They use the Hunter's Fury as a way to get in. We've seen more and more teams that use this at the higher level. Basically use it as a cover of sorts because it does damage, so you really have to be watching the sight line, and
a lot of
that means you're not watching the entryway. There, it gets up some damage as well, gets some hit markers, and then it allows your speedy boys like Teague to get all the way on the site. Sauceton also leading the charge there with those flashbangs. And that lead now is secured, so no matter how this goes, Potomac will have at least a 2-round advantage going into halftime. This is going to be a big round for UAlbany. They lose this, their economy again is going to be back to a save, and the snowball will just continue.
Yeah, the snowball has been, I mean, it's turned into a full-blown glacier at this point. It is continuing to roll down. Potomac 7-0 advantage. Here's that lockdown. Wow, Sal with a phenomenal shot, but that will not stop the lockdown, my friend. It has already been planted. Jay Chronic picks up Clone. Maybe, nope, nobody's going to get caught out by that lockdown as it's taken out by the Hunter's Fury. Teague going to be able to find D-Nuz. Potomac 4-3. They're looking to put that 8th round on the board. Every round they get now is just another nail in the coffin against Albany. Albany, no ultimates to work with. Here comes Sauceton's ultimate, I believe. A bit of a courageous play, but I mean, when you're 8 rounds in the lead, I don't think you're particularly worried about saving your ultimate.
I think at this point it's more just about saving economy, making sure that your economy is healthy, which it is, but if you're winning rounds and then you're still, you know, losing quite a few members on the way, it's really not going to be enough to stay healthy with that. Here they are able to get KO back, and now Ruse is so low.
Ruse 24 HP in a dream. 1v4. I don't think I've seen somebody at Potomac miss a headshot yet. The spike already getting into those ladder tick sounds once again. Actually, a decent amount of damage there with that shock dart, but not nearly enough to kill anybody. Sal going for another operator save. Gotta be careful. You're still in the line of sight, covering that corner from the KJ last time, but the KJ is the only player to go down. There's able to find a kill on this Austin. Is Sal just gonna keep leading him kill after kill? Misses that second shot. They're trying to save the weapon. No! Jay Chronic not going to let it happen. That is Potomac going up 8-0, and if they wanted it, they had a free operator.
Yeah, they don't want it. It's not a good weapon on this map to try to attack. I think we talked about this a lot. Ascent is a much better map to try to force the operator on just because the sightlines aren't as bad as an attacker if you're peeking out. This time it's usually just peeking blind and immediately you're going to get your head blown off unless the person you're going against misses. It's the same thing we've seen, though. We do see that Sal is getting exit frags. They are able to take some economy away, but they are spending so much that it's not worth, you know, the trade. They lose it. Now they have to go for a bit of a force buy here. It's going to be all ARs, but no heavy armor, which means they're more vulnerable. And the ultimates are still better for WVU. Now they're going to use a Blade Storm here to try to get the deal even more done.
Blade Storm's going to have to be a miracle ultimate, to say the very least. You're in such a tough spot. This is your last force buy. If you lose this one, you arguably give up the half, and that's really going to hurt Albany. They may go 12-0 on the half if they don't win this round right here. Clone finds one. Swaby finds the trade. Currently 4v3 in favor of Albany. Jay Chronic is off the table for the time being. Sauceton picks up an elimination. 3v3 Astra alive on both sides. Other than that, we've got individual agents. It's going to come down to util, kit utilization, and of course, primary accuracy. How strong are the mechanics of each of these players? Now's our time to find out. Potomac, they want this ninth round to walk away, but Albany, they want to put anything on the board.
Cosmic Divide is online for both sides, and if you're the defense, you got to use it kind of like a Viper's Pit. Use it early, and that's going to detract them from going to a point. But the problem is that it's Haven, so even if you get rid of 1 point, there's still 2 more. They're not forced to instantly go to 1 point only.
Right.
And if you're Swaby here, you're going to be waiting for that full point take, for that full cap, probably before you use your own. Or no, you're just going to go for it as entry. So this is going to cut off any defenders really being able to see through things. And you see already that rotation to Heaven going to come in just a little bit late.
Yeah, that rotation's going to show up a wee bit late, and it's going to guarantee a plant for Potomac here. Teague puts it down, and this does give Potomac a really good position because Albany just has to storm through. They have to be able to find, you know, a kill on their way out, but the Peeker's advantage doesn't necessarily apply to this situation. The Cosmic Divide goes down almost as soon as it joined our company, and now that 3v3 will turn into a bloodbath in the blink of an eye. Teague holding one corner. There goes one. There goes two. There goes three. Albany line up there, taking out one by one, and Potomac putting that 9th round down.
And you saw the difference of how those Cosmic Divides are placed. One was just to completely cut off not only the defender spawn side, but also Heaven. And then when the defenders tried to do it themselves, it looked like they were trying to cut off more just like a short, sort of that side cubby. But the positioning was already there for WVU. I mean, 2 of them were in hell together, so they could at least try to go for a trade. One of them is at least out of the line of sight of the wall there, so they're able to just run past it and still be in the fight. And that 12-0 you were talking about, it's looking more and more realistic. It's at least going to be double digits here unless there's an amazing thrifty round.
Yeah, 100%. Like you said, we're looking at very minimum double digits, I think. Swaby might go down early, but that isn't necessarily going to hurt Potomac, especially as Finn takes out White Chalk. Like, it's a great nade as well, firing a little bit of additional damage onto Albany. Swaby! By golly, that is going to be 2 more eliminations for Potomac. Sal finds something, but buddy, I think the round's already over. The Blade Storm going to miss every single shot. 70 HP left. 70 HP in a dream. Spamming hard util Teague with the spray and pray, and whew, that is Potomac hitting those double digits.
Yeah, this is a bloodbath so far. And again, these two teams already played to each other, and it was a pretty close match. It was a 2-1 map score. So this is kind of unexpected, honestly. The only map that UAlbany dropped in the playoffs was actually their first matchup to, I believe, the number 31 ranked team, SUNY Carleton. So, I mean, that's not as impressive as dropping a map to the number 5 team, but both these teams have only dropped 1 map thus far. So for Potomac to win a map this decisively, if this continues, especially in the first map of the series, that's a statement.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jack, you and I have seen, casting together, we have seen games where a team will get 12-2'd, 13-4'd on a map, and then come back and absolutely destroy on the following map. Our next map is, of course, going to be Ascent, and at this point, that's what Albany's playing for, because they would have to win 13 rounds in the time that Potomac would not be able to win 2 to walk away with this without forcing overtime. Ruse finds 1, won't be able to find 2. Teague is waiting on the corner. 4v3 now as Albany, they're just going to have to storm in one point or another. White Chocolate on site right now. Just can't get through these smokes. Swaby takes him down. Every flash in the game and smoke on the table. Another elimination perhaps happening. Cloner on the high ground. Jay Chronic puts down the Astra and it's up to this Sky, where she will soon be sent, joining her friends in heaven. Potomac winning that 11th round. 4 left against the 0 from Albany. There's only 2 rounds to go before Potomac walks away with a win.
Oh no, and Cloner used the Seekers. I was waiting for that play to come out when it was 3v4, but then White Chocolate runs in and they lose one of their duelists, one of their most explosive players. No pun intended. And then I was like, don't use the Seekers. But then I think they used them right after that. They tried using them from heaven. A lot of the time now we're seeing that those Seekers are being used more for recon than anything else. They're not even used for the stun. It's more just like, all right, I know someone's here. That 3v4 is very winnable because that Jet on the other side, Teague, was very weak, but instead they wait a little bit too long. They don't group up quick enough. And now it is 11-0.
11-0 is the name of the game. Well, the name of the game is actually Valorant, but right now it's 11-0. Another showstopper early picks up Sawston again. Second time that Sawston's been taken out by that not Hunter's Fury, that showstopper. The Hunter's Fury, though, also making an appearance, and White Chocolate will fall. Some great tracking by Jay Chronic there to take him down. Potomac, they're looking at 12-0 the half. Already a 4v2.
Yeah, this is not looking good. It's a force fight because that's all they can really do on the side of Albany. But that's 1.
Golly!
That's Teague getting 3 and 13-0. It could happen. The pistol run will decide how this goes.
Holy moly. I mean, this is Potomac just storming into Albany every single time, and maybe Albany is going to be able to turn this around. Maybe they were just waiting to play on a proper half, right? But I'm so hesitant to say that because their team is definitely not offense built. They've got a double duelist, but the Astra, she's so much better on the defense. The Soba is going to struggle here on Haven offense as well. Maybe they can pull some crazy trick that we have never seen before, but Potomac, like you said, they are 1 pistol round away from 13-0ing here in Grand Finals.
It's interesting you say that because I'm not even sure they're really any-sided. I feel like this composition they tried putting together is supposed to be a little bit more even-footed, but I would say it's a bit more tack side just because there's no Sentinel to play around. So
that's also
true. You're really playing around your duelist and your initiator, but still, even with that, like we talked about this, the Raze is just not the pick here, and I think because of that, this composition is struggling quite a bit.
Yeah, this composition may have a lot to do with the performance of Albany so far. I've said it already. I'll bring it up again that Raze does not work on Haven, unfortunately, as much as I would love for her to. You know, it's definitely not going to be something that we'd expect to see often. And of course, I'm not blaming White Chocolate specifically. It's just, I don't think the agent works out very well. Potomac, though, they're looking to storm in the gate. A great flash. None is going to fall already. 3 obliterated. An absolute firing squad. Cloner takes out 1. Probably not going to be able to take out much more. Sawston takes him down. It is up to Ruse. There goes 1. There goes 2. But there goes Ruse. Potomac, they are going to 13-0 Albany here on Haven, our first map of the evening. They are 1 map away from 2-0ing the Grand Finals.
And I was talking with you, Albany, earlier on. They wanted revenge. This was going to be their statement match. This was for the championship.
Well, a statement was made.
Yeah, the statement was made. It just wasn't for them. Now, revenge, now, it still can be found. There's still at least 1 more map guaranteed, but that is the least exciting way to start one off, unfortunately, for them. It's very disheartening to be 13-0. You were shut out. One thing I wanted to talk about is, you know, at that point, you're right. They're just playing for the next map. They realize this one's probably out of hand, but maybe they can at least take a few rounds at the end. But it's so hard to come back from a 12-0 half. I mean, if it's 10-2, at least there's a light at the end of the tunnel. At least you were guaranteed more than just that 1 pistol round. But losing that, it's defeating, but there's still more to be played. So at that point, you just got to pretend that one never happened. You're just playing to a 1st to 2, and you're starting out at 0-0.
Yeah, 100%. You've got to look at this, like you said, as 1st to 2. And, you know, we're going to get a couple of minutes here. I'm not sure if we're throwing it to a quick break, but either way, I know we've got a couple of minutes between these maps. So this is a time for Albany to really think this through, really discuss what went wrong, what comp do we bring on Ascent, and will it be one that's perhaps a little bit more meta? We'll find out in just a couple of minutes. Everybody use this time, get up, get some water, stretch, use the restroom, do whatever, but come right back here. We've got at least 1 more map of these Grand Finals. We'll see you folks right back here in just a couple of minutes.
What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Ain't accept and ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
Hey man, I just can't find a comfortable headset. I mean, I've tried everything. Literally everything.
Sheesh, my brother. I got you.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
That is comfortable.
Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a soar, I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accept and ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live. And I promise I'm trying to. Before you count me out, homie, let me remind you. They was blocking the shine, now I think it's my time to. Counting them dollar signs like lights, they'll blind you. Let me rewind to back when I was broke and I couldn't acquire 2 cents. And now I got 2 rents. They was sleeping on me, homie, must have got too big. Call my phone, I be like, who this? Damn right, hell yeah, I'm brand new. Smell like can too. I'm fresh forever like canned food. Try and tell me what I can't do. I wanna see the world, my vision on Shamu. That mean I got goals that's real big, foes that's real big. Your offer too little, sorry, my soul is real big. Coming into the ring with blows that's real big. I gotta do it big, that's the only way I can live.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch your head.
What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Ain't accept and ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
Hey man, I just can't find a comfortable headset.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the ECAC Esports Valorant Grand Finals. Believe it or not, we are already about to jump into our second map. The first one did happen, it truly did, but it was a 13-0 in favor of Potomac all the way across the board. So, Jag, going into Ascent, our second map, is there anything specific you'd like to keep an eye out for that Albany can do to really claw back into this series?
Yeah, I think there are two things you got to do. First, got to stop Jay Chronic. That's the big thing, because Jay Chronic is really, really good on the map. Teague did catch up by the end of that, and I think there were also some great plays from that KO that we saw over and over again from Sauceton. But overall, Jay Chronic was kind of the catalyst to start that became that avalanche, as you said before, that glacier. The second thing is, the composition has to be a little bit better. I think a Sentinel is needed. A Killjoy was probably the better call there than double Duelist if you're going to run the Raze. Here, maybe a Raze could work. I still think Reyna is the better pick overall. I feel like Reyna is really good on Haven and here on Ascent. But this is your map pick, so maybe that ace in the hole that they talked about with me before the game is going to be here. They did talk about a surprise. This is the best time to do it because it's now or never.
Yeah, literally. If you've got a surprise, please show us, because it could be now or never. So I would love to see it. I would love to see them, like you said, play a little bit more of a consistent team or a more meta play style, if you will. And it looks like we're going to be jumping into this agent select right here, right now. An insta-lock from Potomac, and not a single thing changed, I believe.
Now, it looks the same, but both these teams are playing to win. We'll get back to that in a second. Gone. But yeah, no KO. But you know who also likes to play to win? Lenovo Legion knows you play to win. To stand out from the competition, you need equipment that matches the speed of your thoughts and actions. The Legion Y25 monitor delivers wins in the toughest, most critical situations.
Absolutely. And Jack, you know what's even crazier about that, talking about the fantastic Lenovo Legion, is that with its extreme 1 ms response time to its insane 240 hertz refresh rate, the Legion Y25 doesn't just keep up, but does a lot more. It is built for those engaged in vast multiplayer battles at the tournament level. The Legion Y25 offers a 24.5-inch FHD IPS panel with built-in NVIDIA G-Sync compatibility. The Legion Y25 monitor is available at the Lenovo.com and other fine retailers. And speaking of fine retailers, let's focus on fine players. We've got Albany and Potomac going toe-to-toe. Not quite a mirror matchup. Jag, Albany is sticking with that Raze.
They are. It can work out better here, I would say, than it would on Haven. But I still don't think it's the right play. I think Reyna would still be the better bet just because you have that Lear that's so good. Ascent's sites specifically are very enclosed in very close quarters. So Lear can be very good there, but you know what also can be very good? One of those paint shells. If it lands and it hits the target, it can destroy.
Absolutely. Teague smart enough to approach backward, but did not turn around nearly fast enough. 3 already going down. Jay Chronic also going to fall. Albany, they are back in with a vengeance. Clearly, they are coming in hot. Albany is going to be up 5-1. It's up to Finn to be the hero that Potomac needs, and they are not going to be found. Ruse with a 3K of their own, giving us their best Jay Chronic impression.
Oh, if there's any way to open up a map after being 0-13, that is the way to do it. It's flawless. It's the first round victory we've seen from UAlbany all night, and it's a very decisive one at that. They're just able to run over the site, like you said. Like they knew that flash was coming on the side of Potomac. They just could not counter it quick enough, even with them looking away from it. The force there, 5 is greater than 4. They left 1 on that B site. Because of that, Albany able to win that one out. Now it's the victor go to the spoils. They get the better guns. We'll see what these Spectres can do.
These Spectres better make a difference here, because it's going to be Albany. They're not quite force buying. They're doing what is expected of them. Potomac, they may have to give up the second round as well, and that would, of course, be 200% more rounds than Albany was able to win back on Haven. Let's see if they're able to find that first blood, though. That's the one I'm going to be keeping an eye out for. Spike Plant already making an appearance as well. They're just storming straight into A site. Can they hold it, though? That is the true question.
Play for the retake. Teague is able to pop off with that Marshall. If you don't buy armor here, that is going to be a body shot kill. Otherwise, it's got to be a headshot.
That headshot usually is a little bit harder to hit, but like you said, no armor makes it a 1-10. It's basically an op in your hands with no armor on the table. And we saw a little bit of damage from the Astra, currently caught in 1, but it's going to be a double kill in favor of Albany. Once again, Chronic on the corner, misses the right click, and it's going to be White Chocolate who takes him down 4-2. A lot of damage taken away from Potomac right now. That Jet can't be more than, 15, 20 HP, and it looks like 20 is going to turn to 0. Sauceton on the corner finds so many, actually. Finds 3 on their way out the door, but it will be Albany walking away with that second round win.
Talk about good round losses and good round wins. Well, that was a good round loss if you are the side of Potomac. there, you're able to at least get something back in terms of you get 3 kills. So you get a lot of utility off the board. Albany, they're going to have to buy once more. I mean, they could force for a Vandal like we saw Jay Chronic do on the bonus round previously when we were on Haven. Doesn't look like they're going to commit to that. Instead, going to just go way more Spectres. Going to go for a light buy. Make sure they can equalize next round. And with that, Potomac should have a big advantage, but it's not all said and done. It's not guaranteed.
Yeah, no guarantees in the slightest. And Teague trying to guarantee it. Excuse me. That caught me so off guard. I like a hiccup when it happened. But Teague, they are going to be able to find a kill very early on. Albany, this is the first time on Ascent so far. They've been down in the numbers, and that's just going to get a lot worse. Teague with a double kill already, 5v3, and it is Teague all day long. Jay Chronic coming back to life, able to find Sal. It's up to Ruse. There's a new sheriff in town, but I'm not sure this one's got the gusto to find 5 eliminations with 5 bullets. Might be able to find 1 or 2 on your way out the door, or you'll find nothing. You get taken out by a Phantom. Finn picks up that kill, and Potomac giving themselves a flawless round as well.
That's big because they don't lose anything here, so now they can just rebuy fully. We'll see what they do. It looks like they do want to commit for a full buy next round as well. Both teams do. So you see the armor discrepancy. The members who are worried about potentially not having enough next round, they're going to do only light armor. And if you have enough already guaranteed, you're going to go for the full armor. So that could be a difference maker. Ruse and Dinas, who are currently the top fraggers on the side of UAlbany, also the ones with the least amount of protection on their side. And it looks like Finn for Potomac has to go for a bit of a lighter buy. So very interesting economics early on in this game.
Yeah, and economy is truly the name of the game more often than actually playing util or playing eliminations. If you mess up your economy, you're handing rounds over to your enemies. So we're going to have to see which one of these teams can keep their economy in balance, right? They're basically playing with a scale at all times. You can't not buy, you can't buy too often. You've got to find that beautiful middle ground. And being a middle ground, we're almost at it. It was almost that 4-4 matchup, but now 4-2 already. Potomac, they're going to find themselves down perhaps another round. They were given an advantage in that last round. They were able to buy over anything Albany could bring to the table. But this time, like you said, it is a fair game across the board. So let's see if Albany can find that 3rd round win.
And slight hesitation there from Sauce, since really going to cost Potomac on this defense. 4v2, 4v1, and now it's down to Swaby. Gets 1, but they know exactly where this Astra is.
Oh my goodness. Swaby, though, not going down without a fight. Just toe-to-toe already. Ripped the team in half. There were 4. We're down to 2. They know they're both in Boathouse as well. Sal's critical. It's really coming down to this Astra right now to see what she can do. Sal will fall in no way. 7 HP Swaby will fall, but I don't think Dina is making it out of this one. That is going to be all 10 players down and out. Albany gets a round win. Can their econ recovery from all 5 of them falling?
Do get the bonus from the spike plant, so we'll have to see how it all ends up. Looks like everyone except for Sal can buy. Sal does not have the Blade Storm just yet, so even though they lose that round, Potomac, they get quite a bit out of it. They also get the loss bonus. They can full buy, so this is interesting. It's also UAlbany actually saving here, so I think they realize, like, you know, this is a lead that's big enough, at least for the time being, where we can commit to a lighter buy, try to get something offline from Potomac, and we'll have to see how that ends up for them.
Yeah, Sal with the ghost here. I mean, it's a cool one. It's the Mage Punk one that I talked about loving just a little bit ago, but it is not going to save you against a Phantom like that. Oh, Sawston takes out Sal early on. Now, we did see Albany turn around a fight just like this moments ago. They lost somebody early. They were able to clutch it out, and everybody ended up dying in the end, but they won the round. And at the end of the day, that's arguably the most important thing. 5-4 matchup, the Hunter's Fury versus the Blade Storm. I'd be shocked to see either of those ultimates make an appearance, honestly.
Yeah, me too. The Blaze Storm definitely is not needed by T, considering that they have a Vandal right now. Hunter's Fury maybe for a post plant or maybe for entry could work out if they're even able to get it, but it looks like right now they're just trying to play mid. I think they realize, like, we don't have enough firepower to take over a site. The idea of just running over people is kind of long gone, considering we lost someone early. So now they're just going to play for mid control, hope that they can find something here. But
the heal.
Overgrowth. Yep, the healing
40,
comes through, so it does get an ability offline, but it also means that Jet, the weakest person, is now back to mostly full strength. No armor, but 100 health.
Finn and Swaby rocking and rolling on that A site, completely oblivious. It looks like they've finally chosen what to do. Albany's going to be storming it up through mid into market. The door's been closed, so they've got to make some noise. Clover's Wolf not going to be able to find anything in the back line there. I would say this is going to come down to the next elimination, and Teague looking like they're going to be the one to find it. No, it is Jay Chronic, and yeah, blink and you miss it. UAlbany, they are caught out, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. That is going to be PSC taking their second round. Albany just barely in the lead.
That's another flawless round, but again, that's a kind of expected. UAlbany, they decided we're gonna just take the L here. We're gonna just try to find something. Couldn't do it. Couldn't play the pace that was probably required out of a light buy like that. And
Right.
it's interesting because even with all of that, even with the save, they still have to go with light armor here. Everyone except Sal is gonna be at only 25 armor. So the decision,
That's because Sal couldn't buy last time.
Yeah, it was a smart one, but here they're still struggling a little bit. That economy is not healthy enough, and that lead's looking even more finicky.
Yeah, and the lead, realistically, statistically speaking, might be down the drain here because Albany, like you said, they're just at an armor disadvantage, and now they're at a player disadvantage. T with the one-tap onto Ruse. Clone going to try to take a 2v1, but instead we see PSC backing it up. Potomac going to try to save their players. Albany gets the losers extra creds if they lose the second round in a row, which if they lose this one, but is that going to be enough to even give them a full buy next time? I don't think so. This is going to be Albany's now or never moment.
I really want to talk about what just happened too, because Ruse didn't have to die there. Cloner got scared because they got tagged by the owl drone, and that was just that Soba was already in the drone.
Oh boy, Dustin from the heavens gonna be able to find 4. Wow, that flick from Sal to White Chocolate was seamless. That was absolutely beautiful there, Potomac. I mean, Sauceton mostly able to secure that third round win. Going into round 7, we are tied up 3-3.
Sadly, we talked about it. 2 rounds. They thought it was secure enough to be able to build back up with their economy. Now it is crumbling down. It's tied up. That lead that they had is completely mitigated. It's even, and they can't buy. That's the biggest thing. Honestly, I think maybe taking another save round would have been the way to go there, just so they could actually be full armored. That's a big difference maker. Now they have 3 ultimates, all which could be really useful, but they really can't do anything with them. If they get 1 or 2 kills here and they're able to pick up the weapons, then I would say, you know what, go for it. But, I mean, the Bladestorm's already been committed here, so they definitely want to try to win this.
Yes, you know, this may be another one of those classic Septilant small brain caster comments, but I personally am not a fan of popping a Bladestorm on a save round. I don't think that makes a lot of sense. And, of course, you know, your opponent's weapon or your teammates' weapons aren't going to help you perform any better, but the odds of your team winning are obviously so much lower unless that Jet's dropping an ace. And right now, the exact opposite's happening. It looks like we're going to see Potomac possibly with a flawless Sal. 7 HP obliterated by Teague. And D-Nuns doesn't even get a chance to breathe. A flawless round win for Potomac, their second of the map.
Lead is finally taken, some momentum has shifted. This will be a full buy for UAlbany, the first real one they've had where everyone's able to get full armor. Ability buy is going to be low. Yeah, everyone is still very low on credits, even with that. And I want to go back to something you said about the Bladestorm. The idea usually isn't actually to get the ace. It's more just like, I'm going to go in, I'm going to get a kill really quickly, and you're going to pick up this gun, like one of my teammates. So if you do that, then you have the advantage, or at least you have something to get going. But they're completely split. Saul is way away from the rest of the team that's falling around them. So that Bladestorm really doesn't get, even if they get 1 kill out of it, it's not going to be enough.
Right. That's the worrisome part. And I think I was so worried about the Bladestorm because Potomac hasn't been playing in a play style where you can just kill one and walk away. They've been grouped up every single time we've seen them, and that's really making it difficult for Albany to find these 1v1s or to find a couple of kills here and there. Now, D-Nuns has to get rid of all 3 Seekers. For some reason, locked out of that Astra. Now a flash on the corner. They flash themselves, but Sauceton still picks up that kill. Cloner gets the counter elimination, but Potomac, they're still going to find themselves up 4-3. Albany started so strong, but we can see this is already slipping for them.
Don't have any priority on either site right now. A, there's a bunch of Nebulas. There's also a bunch of Killjoy utility. B, it's only Sova, but this is kind of the best place for Sova to be, especially with the fact that they have the Odin, so they get any sort of recon, they could absolutely blast that wall down. And Teague is in a great spot. If Teague is aware of this rotation, the timing, it could be just perfect.
The timing could be absolutely phenomenal here, and I want to see if there's going to be anything from this Hunter's Fury. Ruse is going to be able to find that elimination onto Teague, tied up 3-3. This is a tough one. We've got an ultimate alive on both sides, very different ultimates at that. I don't know if Albany can turn this one around. They started off so strong on Ascent. They've really been struggling, but they've got some great momentum here. That Hunter's Fury can make a world of difference if they use it correctly.
10 seconds left.
Nobody's able to find their footing quite yet. Swaby finds one. Ruse finds another. It's going to be a 2-1. Jay Chronic takes out Sal. Are you going for the plant for creds here? Ruse not going to be able to find it. Picks up a kill, but timer will unfortunately run out. 5-3, Potomac coming in hot.
Yeah, at that point, once they entered the site, there really wasn't enough time to go for the plant and get it down. They had to go for that first, but instead they tried taking duels, mostly because they were forced into them by Potomac. It looked really good, though. I think winning that duel against Teague and mid was a huge game changer, but instead of forcing onto A, they tried to do a little flip. They thought they could get cheeky with it. They thought they could catch them off guard, but Potomac, they mostly stood their ground. They didn't really rotate over to A whatsoever. They only had Finn more in the mid area. So the play doesn't work out, and now it's a light buy once more for UAlbany.
A light buy, and that seems to be where they've been stuck. We talked about back in, I think, round 2 or 3, how this game almost comes down to economy more than it comes down to anything else. And Sal found some purchase there onto Teague, but unfortunately the op is a one-tap no matter what you've got. And I want to see if there's going to be a turnaround from Albany time and time again. They're stuck in this short buy scenario, this half buy, this low buy, whatever you choose to call it, and they've got to stop peeking an op with a Marshall. That's also something that's really going to hurt your chances. Teague finds a double kill early, forcing the remaining players of Albany to walk into a 5v3.
You don't want to peek the operator. I mean, you think, like, what is there really to lose here? We're doing a light buy anyway. Maybe we get a good shot and we're able to get out of their hands. And this is going to be very tricky. Ooh. This could be another flawless.
A flawless round for Potomac here, the third in a row, is going to set some very high expectations. I mean, we saw a great performance already, a 13-0, and for them to find 3 flawless and 6-round wins is a terrifying consideration. Out of the 30 eliminations available, they have found guaranteed 15 of them, and they've won quite a few rounds with the rest of the ultimates at hand as well. The eliminations, excuse me. Potomac, I mean, they've got such an aggressive lead here, but Albany, for the first time in a very long time, they're going for a full buy, and I can't wait to see if they're going to be able to find any value off of it.
It feels a lot like the first one. We talked about the snowballing economies. Once you start losing, It doesn't matter about the loss bonus. It's just not enough to buy. It's every other round, and that's not any way to really be able to stabilize somebody. You're going to have to find a thrifty here or there. This is a big round. There's still a chance where this could be a 6-6 game. UAlbany can bring it back.
Very
but
much
it has
so.
to start here. They lose this round, and that economy, again, is going to be in the exact same place it's been, and that's not a good place for them.
Yeah, not a good place at all. And Teague has made waves with this operator, and I want to see if Potomac's going to walk face first into it once again. But Potomac maybe using an ultimate here is not the worst idea. I'm trying to think of which one, though, because the lockdown isn't going to find some great value unless you know where somebody's at. The Cosmic Divide isn't going to have a great approach, again, unless you know where somebody's at. Or maybe you use it as a Shroud of Darkness, like you said, very similar to a Viper's Pit. And that Blade Storm, I truly feel the Jet hasn't had the most consistent game, so popping a Blade Storm is going to be difficult to capitalize off of, and I want to see if they can work with that. But Albany, they've got the Hunter's Fury and the Cosmic Divide of their own. Jag, do you think anything specific happens here, or is it just going to be that classic matchup? Never mind, Jay Chronic's going to let us know. Able to find Cloner early on, and an immediate rush in from Albany, 4-4. Oh! Sawston tearing it up. D-Nuns takes out Sawston there. 3v2. Definitely winnable in this situation. As long as the player is alive, it's winnable. But Teague playing a slow corner, slow walk into that. Going to be able to take out D-Nuns. White Chocolate, full HP, and an ultimate to boot. Honestly, you know the Jet is there. I say you go for it. But you peek the corner into the operator, and that is unfortunately not going to work out.
I think that emoji basically summarizes how Teague feels right now, right? They're just like, why do they keep doing this, man? Why do they keep peeking me? They know that they're not going to be able to live through that. I like the Cosmic Divide. So you had asked me what they should do, and that's what I would have said. I would say use the Cosmic Divide first, set up, and then use the Hunter's Fury as post-plant ultimate. Unfortunately, they went in without any recon, so they had no idea that Teague was right there, and they never clear Teague out. He's just in tree the entire time, waiting. Even when the plant comes down, they don't even close the door. I'm not sure if the door could be closed in that scenario, but they just let Teague have his way as he has all game, and just misses that one.
Just barely misses and almost pays the price of his life for it. Now Albany, they had the cards there. I really liked what they did on the approach, that immediate storm in, the double blast pack, the dash. They wanted to get on site as fast as possible, which I think is the perfect thing to do. It was staying on site and not covering the proper angles that ended up losing that one for them, and the operator just got to take full advantage. Now they had a small advantage, but Sawston gonna make sure that Albany gets absolutely nothing out of it. A 4K coming out hot. Potomac, I mean, they just ripped that round right out of Albany's hands.
The one thing that Albany can look forward to if they lose the round is the 9-3 curse, which I didn't believe in until today, by the way. I did not believe until the end of the game. Yeah, that was pain, unfortunately. But we're not going to talk about that. I have too much PTSD over it. The good thing for UAlbany is that they do have ultimates. It is not as many as Potomac's, who has one more, but it's still enough. And I think really the biggest thing is you got to use them. Before you talk about the showstoppers, go for it. I think here it's the same thing. Just go for it. Try to find that opening early, because otherwise you might just fall before you ever get a chance to use it.
I think a solid attempt here from Albany would be that Russian attempt that they made 2 rounds ago. I really liked that, and now they can have the Sova not push in with them. They go for plant, things go south. Sova can, Hunter's Fury, the diffuser, to make it last a little bit longer, try to win the round for Albany, because they're in a situation, use every ability you have. You get to keep nothing moving into the next round, and it looks like exactly that is happening. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. White Chocolate with the first blood, getting caught out by some KJ grenades, nowhere to run. T gonna be able to find Cloner. White Chocolate also being taken out by those KJ nades. Potomac find themselves up 4-3, and Teague making it even harder for Albany to turn this one around. 2 agents left. It is up to these 2 to give Albany that 4th round win.
This is the Killjoy advantage. You just use it, the nanoswarm gravity well combination. It works out perfectly.
D-Nuns, the hero that Albany needs right now. A great flank and a great approach. The Sova literally just played a sandbag, played that distraction they needed, and that could work out super well. But as Rouge gets taken out, they know exactly where that Astra's at. She's just not able to make it. Chronic with that wall bang takes out the D-Nuns, and Potomac going up 9-3. Will that curse make an appearance?
I just can't believe you can get a wall bang from that far away of an Odin.
It's wild.
Did you see the distance with that? Like, they were playing out, like, just barely outside of the door of market, and you're all the way on point. You're basically in Boathouse. Wow. Anyway.
The entirety of Ascent is stuck together by, like, spit and cardboard. I swear. You can wall bang anything on this map.
Yeah, you go to Italy, good food, not great walls, unfortunately, but as we get into this halftime swap, UAlbany, they were able to get 3 rounds. That's 3 more than they got on Haven. They really got to put up or shut up here. No Sentinel once more, so have to be aggressive on their defense. And I think here it might be the time you make a risky play. You go for the 5-person defense. You just put everyone on 1 point, you walk out, and hopefully that works out. Here it looks like they're not willing to take that risk. They are split, and this is going to be a 5-man approach from the attackers.
And that immediate rotate in. I love watching the map when you see on the top left when somebody's able to, they're on A and all of the little circles rushing at the same location. It always gives me a bit of a chuckle. And I'm going to say taking a risk is something that we did see from Albany there, but a much smaller one. They went to buy a Sheriff early on, which is obviously the most expensive sidearm that you can buy, and it just did not work out well at the end of the day. They weren't able to find that lineup. Teague with a wall bang onto Ruse, already a 5v2, 5v1. As Teague, not looking for the A's, but looking for a 3K nonetheless. Sawstain goes down, but Teague puts away that 4th elimination. Potomac, they are hitting double digits.
Sawstain might have to work on their do-si-do a little bit, but they still win the rounds. They're only 3 away. It looks like maybe UAlbany early on had an opening. This was their map pick. They look solid. Now they're going to be taking a timeout, but has the damage already been done? This is going to be the big question. Do we force buy here? Do we take that risk? Do we try to catch them off guard? You say that, but there's just so few opportunities going forward. And I'm not even disagreeing with you, because you do get the bonus round next round, which might be your best opportunity. So here, if you force buy, that goes out the window. Then you've got to save. So,
and I also think in the last half they didn't force buy, but they didn't save when they needed to, and it costs them probably 3 or 4 extra rounds. So I think force buying in any scenario, like when they bought with light armor, I think that really hurt them for a couple of rounds. So I want to see if Albany doesn't force buy here, can they, like you said, win that bonus round and find their footing to tie things back up?
Yeah, and that's the nice thing about 9-3 is that it's not the end of the world. You will give up the pistol round potentially, which they did there, but then the round after that, it's still 11-3. It's not it's not 1 round and it's over. There are still 2 rounds left from that, and then if you're able to win the bonus and get some momentum from there, I mean, that's all you could need. That's what X10 did, and oh my god, it still hurts so much. But anyway, going into this round, we'll have to see what they decide to do. We'll have to look at that buy, and it looks like it's a Sheriff, 1 Sheriff only. Classics mostly. It looks like they are not going to be buying here.
People who don't know, you're like, dang, this guy really likes Envy. What is up with him? That's so weird.
It worked there. It hurts.
Yeah, Jag works for Envy, for those who don't know. So you're not like, what a weirdo. No, he works for him, so he's allowed to be a little upset about it. Wow, already a lot of flashes making an appearance. Teague must have the whole Mage Punk set. And I love it. I wish I would have bought it myself, but I talked myself out of it because I just bought that comic book set that came out right beforehand. I thought that was super cool. I'll get to Mage Punk one day. But I want to keep an eye out, seeing, does Potomac just storm in? We saw a lot of that on Haven. They would just insta-rush, and Jay Chronic would be planting in like 10 seconds off the timer. Sawston going for a quick rotate, but it looks like Albany may walk into a firefight here if they don't play their cards right. A lot of Astra smoke covering the engagements, giving not quite a one-way, but definitely giving an advantage to Potomac. A spray and pray from Finn onto Ruse is going to be able to find that kill. Albany goes down 5-4 early. Sawston finds one. Durns two. Oh, not going to be able to find that third, but Swaby there to clean it up. That is going to give Potomac that expected round win. This next one makes or breaks Ascent for Albany. Will they be able to win this 4th round and put themselves in a situation to carry on? But if they lose this one, I think Potomac is going to take this all the way 13-4.
They have to. That's the thing. The force buy next round, it won't exist. Like, they won't have an economy because they just haven't lost enough. This round, or this size swap hasn't developed enough for that loss bonus to really impact it. So they might be stuck with Stingers next round. We'll have to see how that ends up if they lose this. But this is something they should win. And Sawston's buying a Phantom here. So we saw this before from Jay Chronic. They're going to force buy themselves a little bit. This actually could be really devastating for Potomac, even though they have this huge lead already. If they can't full buy, for the next few rounds, that could really sway things.
Yeah, last time we saw this, and I believe it was on Haven, it worked. It worked really well for Potomac, but now we're going to see Jay Chronic go down early, one of those top frags for Potomac. T gone as well, so the 2 top dogs down and out. D-Nun's literally 1 HP. You've got to get to that sky as fast as possible for a little bit of overgrowth to get you back up, but Sawston down. The Phantom is immediately taken out of the hands of Potomac. It is a 5v2. Albany, they are fighting tooth and nail. This is their swan song, their final hour if they lose this round, and they will do anything but lose it. It's going to be a 5v1. It is up to Finn to save the day. Literally needs an ace to help their team walk away victorious, and it looks like Albany is going to be able to put something down. Finn picks up Sal, 4 to go, but the odds are looking bleak. I think Albany's finally putting themselves back on the board.
I think for Finn, you just try to save here, honestly. I'm really surprised.
It's going for the hero play.
That's one, but that's the thing is, like, if you keep that Phantom, then you can full buy next round. Now it's going to be a little bit more topsy-turvy. The good news is that you were able to get a few of UAlbany down, so they will also not be able to buy. So you'll actually be at an advantage here. And there might be enough for Sawston to maybe get something. Yes, they get the Spectre, so you're actually in a better position at the end of things. But you could have been full bought there. I'll have to see if it was worth it. I do believe it was, now that I'm thinking about it. The more I'm looking at it, the more this makes sense. So I'm going to backtrack a little bit when I said this looks very winnable for Potomac, but still not over for Albany just yet.
And Jack, I want to say you were correct. Only one player, but there is a Stinger, which is weird. I feel we don't see those very often. But the Sky on the side of Albany, I believe, did bring a Stinger out. Enon's going to get a lot of intel taken away, but that first kill is so crucial. Looks for the second. Sawston finds 2, though. That's going to be a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Potomac. White Chocolate with the nade kill. Love to see it. Chef's kiss. Perfect. Still alive on both sides. 4 individual agents. Otherwise, 3v3 matchup here, no ultimates on the table. It is going to come down to utility usage and sheer mechanical skill on who walks away with this round. Can Albany find that 5th one? If they can really get these wheels turning. But if PSC finds that 12th round, Albany's going to have a huge hill ahead of them.
I'm not sure how big the Cosmic Divide would be here on the side of UAlbany, but the Seekers could be huge here if Sawston was alive, which they're unfortunately not. So that utility, that recon is gone. So really you're going to be going in blind. You do have the recon bolt from Sova, but they just use that, I believe. Actually, no, they do have it still in their inventory, it looks like. So that is really all you have right now. You're going to be guesstimating. Otherwise, you see there's a ping. They think there's someone at the back of sight, but it's actually only someone on the site right now. 2 people on the site. So this is a 2v2 and a 1v1 happening simultaneously on both sides of the map.
Oh, Ruse finds both! Oh, Ruse, the hero player of the night, to give Albany such a huge chance at possibly walking away with this. Sal gets a good weapon. Terrified that KJ is chasing, but it looks like she's going to go for that save instead. Ruse gets an additional orb. That can make a huge difference later down the line. Finn goes for his setup, desperate to stay alive. Only a couple of seconds left on the clock, and I don't think anyone's going to find him. Albany, they find their 5th round, and like I said, this could be the beginning of a huge comeback. Get your brooms out, folks. Don't get them necessarily ready yet, but keep them on standby, because this may be the beginning of a reverse sweep.
I talked about that. One decision from Sawston really could change the course of how this game goes. That economy is not good. Finn only has a Phantom because they saved it. This is their first save round, I think, really, ever. I mean, I know they had a few at the beginning, but this is deep into the game now at this point. So this is a real first decision that we cannot buy. Very interesting dynamic
The
now,
op from
and you can
Sal.
see that Albany's feeling it. They get them to 8, and that's when I'd say get the brooms out. If they get to 8 rounds, that's when things become
Well, that's why I say
doable.
get them out. Don't get them ready, but have them on standby. You know, like man, like it's possible.
What does that even look like? Just like bring it out of the closet.
You just like
and put it
open the
against
closet
wall?
and like pull out
okay,
the broom.
the
You
door
don't
is
even
open.
flip it over. Like the straw's still standing up. But Sal is going to be able to find Sauceton, and Sauceton top frag by a country mile right now. I think 22. I think next was 16, maybe even less than that. So lose Sauceton early on is really going to hurt. Now the nade. Oh, Teague's going to be furious. I hate when that happens. It's 7 HP, but like that's so annoying when that happens. Finn takes out Cloner. 4v4. Whoa, a lockdown. Not something I expected to see from Finn, but it's going to clear probably the entirety of B site unless they choose to push in off the back of it. Ruse going for the shock dart play. Will he find anything? It's 1, it's 2. No, the Cosmic Divide gets in the way, and now he is not making it out. That is a free kill for this team. T gets to recharge the knives. Oh, thank goodness that white chocolate is there to save the day. A 2v1 for Albany, and they are getting warmed up. Sal goes for the cool play. Gonna miss it, but that is not going to hurt the team quite yet. That Cosmic Divide not going to save Swaby when they need it most. And Sal on the corner puts it away. Albany finding that 6th round. Potomac maybe getting a wee bit nervous, but remember that was a save round. This is the real round they get to come out swinging.
Yeah, that was a pretty good save round, but it's still not enough to get the job done there. Swaby, a lot of cojones there to go into the astral plane when
Very
there's
much
the
so.
operator on the other side of the wall. Spy is looking a little bit better for Potomac just because their alt bank is a little bit healthier. That op, though, is still in the hands. I think if they take out Sal there and they deny the operator for Albany, that would have been a huge win. It's like a small victory and a loss, but it's really not enough to get anything going here. I think they're going to be playing for default. They've split completely. They do have a little bit more towards A site, but you do see the presence towards B. They're going to be waiting for that opening pick before they go onto a site here.
Yeah, Sal playing a little bit aggressive there on anybody but Jet. I'd say that was a bad play, but of course she's got that dash. You know, that's why she loves the op. She can get in and out in the blink of an eye. But Albany, they're in a weird position because Potomac can come in. They find one elimination. You know, that's obviously going to help kind of snowball it against Albany. But Albany, I mean, better late than never. But they have truly started to warm up here. You know, as I love to say, their non-sponsored gamer liquid is finally starting to kick in a little bit. It's getting in their bloodstream. They're ready to take out a couple of eliminations. Ruse, in particular, unfortunately has to give himself away early on just to get those Seekers out of there. But the spray and pray, Sauceton down again! He gives his life, but to take out Sauceton is a huge elimination against Potomac.
Yeah, though this post plant is gonna have to be really, really good. They haven't even gone the spike down yet.
Retake's gonna be hard.
Cosmic Divide, I think you got to use a Cosmic Divide here.
Yes.
I think that's the best plan. You got it, but you got to be careful about where you use it because otherwise
There
they're
it
able
is.
to run in. This is dangerous because they can just run in actually and catch you off guard.
They can storm in on you, use your own Cosmic Divide against you, and that can really hurt. And the Owl Drone's about to come out, gonna give D-Nuns away in the blink of an eye. A great rotate through, but Finn, perfect lineup. Swaby takes out White Chocolate, and that Cosmic Divide gonna be exactly what Potomac needed and more. They're going up 12-6. Albany showed signs of life, but is Potomac there to put them right back down? This next round's going to be that decider.
Right here.
Yeah, match point still can buy here, still have ultimates on the side of Albany, so this is not over by any means. The fact they were able to battle back to this, very impressive based on how the first map went. But you said it yourself, the Cosmic Divide, they used it to perfection.
Yeah.
My big worry is a lot of the time teams just go to the back of Boathouse and say, all right, yeah, we're safe here. But then you're putting off a lot of angles. The way they played that was very smart. One kind of, behind on those boxes, one behind boxes, two in Boathouse. Every angle is covered, and the crossfire was beautiful.
Yeah, they covered every single angle they could have on the approach, and that would have been really tough for Albany to win. Maybe a little bit more utilization of the Raze kit, just to kind of shake things up a little bit and move folks around. Could have been helpful, but unfortunately, that hindsight is 2020. Albany, they've got 3 ultimates to work with. We see Potomac bringing out their first, and White Chocolate gonna pay the price of their life. The showstopper now offline, and Albany at a 4-5 disadvantage. That's going to be a great play from Sal. Picks up Teague, one of the top frags down, but unfortunately goes for that classic jet panic. Not able to get out of that quickly. The updraft doesn't quite work out. The counter Hunter's Fury finds Jay Chronic, and it is up to Ruse to save the day. He did it once. Can he do it again? This time with a full extra agent alive on the other side. The spike plant down. No Hunter's Fury alive, but a full kit at his hands. It is up to Ruse to make sure Albany stays alive.
Breaks the door. Goes Heaven. This seems pretty standard, but I think they're completely aware of this. The flash comes through, and it's Sauceton who gets the final blow. They were actually all the way behind. There was no way of winning that one, unfortunately. And, well, that grand final, it happens. Potomac, they are going to reign supreme They only lose 2 maps through the entirety of the season, the regular and the postseason. They drop 0 games, and I believe with that, their official record is 12-0. This is a championship that they seem very deserving of.
Yeah, 100%. A completely undefeated team across the board. And Albany showed some true signs of life there on Ascent as a team. They definitely showed their worth, how they made it to grand finals with some great clutches, some great team coordination as well. But it seems like Potomac was just able to keep that grand finals win out of reach. And truly, there were a lot of plays from both sides where I thought that, that was played to perfection, especially that Cosmic Divide, arguably the highlight play of the evening, other than a couple of individual frags from, those Sovas respectively. We saw both of them really, really pop off toward the end there. And, only one player gets to walk away. That's the hardest part of this, is only one team gets to walk away with that win.
Yeah, and speaking of players, I think I got to talk about MVPs from this matchup. And there's two names that come to my mind, or 3 actually. I would say Teague, Sawston, and Jay Chronic. They all had great plays. Jay Chronic was the story of the first map, particular Haven. It was their playground. Still was pretty involved on Ascent, but not as much. I feel like Sawston and Teague really stepped up in the latter halves of Haven into Ascent, and Sawston especially. It did fall a few times at the beginning of rounds, but had very good sky play to help enable the team as well as get eliminations of their own.
Yeah, 100%. I think if I'm going to have to pick an MVP, I think I'm going to have to pick Teague, because Sawston did really well on Ascent, and we saw the same thing from Jay Chronic on Haven, but Teague was great on both. Second frag on both, second to Sawston and second to Jay Chronic respectively. But arguably the most consistent player that we saw so far. And I believe we're going to get an interview with one of these players in just a couple of minutes here, but we're going to be throwing it to a super short break. So folks, the grand finals may be over, but these interviews are always an absolute hoot. So we'll be right back here in just a couple of minutes with the final interview, because grand finals is over. We'll be right back in just a couple of minutes.
That's it. I mean, I've tried everything. Literally everything.
Sheesh, my brother. I got you.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
That is comfortable.
Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a soar, I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids, and for their kids, it's kids. That's wealth, years and years. Promise my brother, soon as he out and finished his bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground and the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live. And I promise I'm trying to. Before you count me out, homie, let me remind you. They was blocking the shine, now I think it's my time to. Counting them dollar signs like lights, they'll blind you. Let me rewind to. Back when I was broke and I couldn't acquire 2 cents, and now I got 2 rents. They was sleeping on me, homie, must have got too big. Call my phone, I be like, who this? Damn right, hell yeah, I'm brand new. Smell like can too. I'm fresh forever like canned food. Try and tell me what I can't do. I wanna see the world, my vision on Shamu. That mean I got goals that's real big, foes that's real big. Y'all offer too little, sorry, my soul is real big. Coming into the ring with blows that's real big. I gotta do it big, that's the only way I can live.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 Classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch your head.
What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 Wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Ain't accept and ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
Hey man, I just can't find a comfortable headset. I mean, I've tried everything. Literally everything.
Sheesh, my brother. I got you.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
That is comfortable.
Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a soar, I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accept and ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live. And I promise I'm trying to. Before you count me out, homie, let me remind you. They was blocking the shine, now I think it's my time to. Counting them dollar signs like lights, they'll blind you. Let me rewind to. Back when I was broke and I couldn't acquire 2 cents. And now I got 2 rents. They was sleeping on me, homie, must have got too big. Call my phone, I be like, who this? Damn right, hell yeah, I'm brand new. Smell like can too. I'm fresh forever like canned food. Try and tell me what I can't do. I wanna see the world, my vision on shamu. That mean I got goals that's real big, foes that's real big. Y'all offer too little, sorry, my soul is real big. Coming into the ring with blows that's real big. I gotta do it big, that's the only way I can live.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch your head.
What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Ain't accept and ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
Hey man, I just can't find a comfortable headset. I mean, I've tried everything. Literally everything.
Sheesh, my brother. I got you.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
That is comfortable.
Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a soar, I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accept and ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid with.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back. Excuse me, the ECAC Esports Valorant Grand Finals closing interview. I am Sephalence, joined by Jag, and we are joined by a Sova player that we have both referred to as arguably one of the best that we know, Jay Chronic. And my friend, Jay Chronic, you walk away a 2-0 victory here tonight. I mean, simple as that, a 2-0 Grand Finals victory. How do you feel walking away?
It feels great. It just shows that all the work we've been doing as of late actually paid off to win in this decisive of a matter. Yeah, we played them earlier, a little closer. I'm just much happier that this game was a little less stressful for us.
A little more in your favor, perhaps.
Yes.
Better. So I want to ask, you guys obviously put on a great showing for us tonight. Very few things did you do where I was like, oh, like that, like I don't get that. Everything you did felt calm, cool, and collected. Some great utilizations of ultimates as well. But I want to ask, moving forward, looking to the future, is there anything that you guys are looking to change, or perhaps a specific thing you're looking to improve?
I think a lot of it that we're trying to improve right now is just playing more as a team. Coming into this tournament, we weren't really playing as much together, and we really started grinding out the past week or so, like scrims every single day, some server time, and it really showed. So I think the main thing that we're going to be doing going forward is just focusing more on actually playing together and playing more as a team.
Yeah, perfect.
I mean, you guys looked much more together. I think that was one thing that me and Sechins were noticing. Like, hey, like these guys, like even if they lose one, there's someone there to trade it. So you'd love to see that the rotations were there on time. I want to bring it back a little bit to that match. It was something that you briefly touched upon in your first answer. This was a much more decisive matchup this time. Again, you already played UAlbany. That was a 2-1 scoreline the first time you guys were able to win, but that third map had to come out. This time 2-0. That first map 13-0. What do you think was different this time around?
First thing I need to mention is when we played them last time, unfortunately our IGL couldn't play with us, so that definitely made a huge difference. Having Finn, it's so much of a difference just having him there. He really makes sure that we're not over aggressing and keeps us all in check. And really it's just we were playing a lot more coming into this series than we were last time.
Yeah, 100%. I think that definitely makes a lot of sense. Yeah, saying, our IGL wasn't there. Like, yeah, that's going to make a big difference, obviously.
Nothing against them. They're great. They definitely are some of the best players we've played all throughout this tournament. They should keep their heads up because they had us shaking in our boots a little bit when we played them last time, and you can tell that they're super individually skilled, and I hope to get to play them again in the future.
Absolutely. Very well said. So, Jay Chronic, we'll take us out of the game a little bit, just focus on you a little bit more as a player before we let you go tonight. Is there anybody you want to just give a general shout out or a general thank you to while you're here in the interview?
Yeah. First off, shout out to my team. Of course, couldn't be here without him. Shout out to Josh. He's our esports director. He's the one that got us all here. Friends, family. I know I have some of them watching. Shout out especially to you, Brandon. You know who you are. That's about it.
All right, perfect. Well, Jay Chronic, let your whole team, we only get to interview one of you guys, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Tell your whole team a huge congrats. You guys gave us an incredible showing throughout the entire season, let alone what you did tonight.
Thank you. I will.
Of course. Thank you, my friend. And with that, folks, we are unfortunately going to call it a night. Grand Finals has come to a close, and as sad as it is, all good things must come to a close at one point or another. If you want to follow Jag or myself on our Twitters, they're directly above us. That would be super cool. We'd obviously appreciate that. If you want to follow the channel, I'm sure people would appreciate that as well. We'd love you guys for that. Overall, I can speak for the both of us when I say this has been an incredible season. We've been stoked to be here, and we hope that we get to return and bring you some more Valorant action in the future. But, my friends, that's pretty much all we've got to say for the time being. Jag, thank you for joining me. Huge shout out to Chad Lantis and Kalo in the back line for giving us our wonderful producing and observing that we literally could not do our jobs without. Thank you so much to all of the teams that came tonight, came throughout the season, and gave us incredible series that truly some of them were unforgettable. Thank you to all of you for watching as well. But, my friends, check your posture, drink some water, and don't forget to love each other. We'll see you soon. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground and the cause is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live. And I promise I'm trying to. Before you count me out, homie, let me remind you. They was blocking the shine, now I think it's my time to. Counting them dollar signs like lights, they'll blind you. Let me rewind to. Back when I was broke and I couldn't acquire 2 cents. And now I got 2 rents. They was sleeping on me, homie, must have got too big. Call my phone, I be like, who this? Damn right, hell yeah, I'm brand brand new, smell like can too. I'm fresh forever like canned food. Try and tell me what I can't do. I wanna see the world, my vision on Shamu. That mean I got goals that's real big, foes that's real big. Y'all offer too little, sorry, my soul is real big. Coming into the ring with blows that's real big. I gotta do it big, that's the only way I can live.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch your head.
What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids, and for their kids, it's kids. That's wealth, years and years. Promise my brother, soon as he out and finished his bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
Hey man, I just can't find a comfortable headset. I mean, I've tried everything. Literally everything.
Sheesh, my brother. I got you.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
That is comfortable.
Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a soar, I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids, and for their kids, it's kids. That's wealth, years and years. Promise my brother, soon as he out and finished his bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live. And I promise I'm trying to. Before you count me out, homie, let me remind you. They was blocking the shine, now I think it's my time to. Counting them dollar signs like lights, they'll blind you. Let me rewind to back when I was broke and I couldn't acquire 2 cents. And now I got 2 rents. They was sleeping on me, homie, must have got too big. Call my phone, I be like, who this? Damn right, hell yeah, I'm brand new. Smell like can too. I'm fresh forever like canned food. Try and tell me what I can't do. I wanna see the world, my vision on Shamu. That mean I got goals that's real big, foes that's real big. Y'all offer too little, sorry, my soul is real big. Coming into the ring with blows that's real big. I gotta do it big, that's the only way I can live.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.